Because of COVID, I think all of us got extremely lonely. I feel that because we could not meet people, we could not talk to people in real life, which is why we shifted to social media.
Hello and welcome to Pravasi Samvad podcast series. In today's episode, we are diving into a topic that has affected millions of youngsters and their families. We are going to discuss about why depression is on the rise and is it really the digital world that is affecting the Gen Z's mental health? Our expert today in our studio is a youngster who has pursued her master's in psychology and has extensively worked with young adults who are dealing with depression, anxiety, and emotional burnout. Meet our young guest, Srishti Sen. Welcome to the show, Srishti. And I must thank you today for taking your time out because a lot of parents and teachers have been, youngsters have been wanting to really discuss on these topics. Tell me, Srishti, how has your journey started actually into psychology?
Thank you so much for inviting me here. It's genuinely a pleasure. From the very start, I was really interested in psychology. I really wanted to know how a person's psyche, how a person's mind, and how their mental health can change their life and what it can make them be. So in 11th, 12th, I had psychology. Then I further continued in Delhi University as undergrad in psychology. And then I am about to finish my master's in clinical psychology and further targeting to go for my license. So I think for me, psychology is my home. Like, I realize how much I want to help in this direction. And I hope that I can share some of the information that I have learned through looking around me and it can help the audience that we have today.
Excellent, Shrishti. Shrishti, I have been noticing, or maybe even we have seen the news that a lot of young adults are committing suicide, or are they are undergoing a lot of pressure, and there's been a noticeable change in the rise in depression now. So, what exactly do you think, Gen Z especially? You yourself are a youngster, so I just wanted to know from your perspective, what has been the experience like?
Okay, so I think we are the one generation who is facing a lot. And I would want to start by saying COVID pandemic, even though it's been, I think, 5 to 6 years now, but I think it has affected us so deeply that the after effects of it is still visible. And because of COVID, I think all of us got extremely lonely. I feel that because we could not meet people, we could not talk to people in real life, which is why we shifted to social media. I think social media today is one of the most important aspects which all of us use. I think all of us at least once in like 2 3 hours for sure check their socials to see if anybody had texted them or to just probably scroll reels or to see what is happening around them. And if you ask me about the increase in different mental health disorders, one of them being depression, which most of us already know. Depression is manifested through a lot of different ways. But today, since our topic is more about social media, I think social media is the one platform where everybody tries to show their good side, their best life. But the fact remains that it's just a part of it. And all of us, I think, are comparing and wanting to be the best selves in front of the camera, which may or may not be true. So I think the increase in the number of cases, of course, one of the reasons is that people are reporting it more because of awareness, because of social media itself. A lot of people are knowing a lot about what it is and what is not okay and what is okay. But I think the constant game of pressure, the constant game of comparison, if the other person is doing better than me, and if I'm lacking, and if I'm not doing the best, I think that is definitely adding on to feeling lonely and further.
So, Srishti, social media has those filtered perfect bodies and perfect vacations, um, and there is a lot of rush for accumulating those followers, million followers. And every second day we watch, different kind of bodies, before and after. There is a lot of comparison. Don't you think that is building a lot of pressure on the generation Gen Z, uh, to say so?
It definitely is. I think as I said, one of the main reasons of a person feeling lonely or feeling that they are not sufficient is comparison. Everybody is striving to be the ideal version that is being showed to themselves, like having the perfect body, having achieved so much since the very start, having the perfect relationship, and probably living the perfect life. But what we don't realize is that everybody cannot have the same streamlined linear life. Everybody has their own experiences, everybody has their own opportunities, circumstances, and that is what actually shapes them and makes them unique. But I think unfortunately sometimes social media, because of the so much of exposure, of course, even though it has a lot of pros and it is helping us to connect to the world beyond, like, it is something we all have never seen. But with that, I think a person, even though they might have like thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers, but sometimes I think lack lack in not showing what they truly are is making them feel lonely. And I think that disconnect is probably the problem which we should all address and know that it is not something that is going to help you in the longer run.
Also, Shrishti, one thing I wanted to ask you now that you are yourself have passed out of your college and you have mingled with a lot of young adults who are dealing with depression. Have you seen that there is like I've heard a lot of news that somebody got bullied in school,
Yeah.
and they've been compared, and so the child comes back home and she has committed suicide, or she has been underperforming in her college or in her academics. So even we as a generation, our generation, even if our parents scolded us, we didn't take it so seriously. But if the younger generation, in comparison, if the parent has said something, they need therapy. I mean, these are the. I mean, I'm not making it a very cliche thing, but I'm just wanted to ask you: is it like this generation has become very sensitive and weak? What is the difference? What has changed so much?
I feel the narrative has changed. So if you ask me, probably, see, I have had a lot of exposure. I have seen a lot of cases like revolving around the topic that we're talking about. But I think there's this one case which I would want to highlight. So there was this girl who was in the 11th standard, and she was pressurized to take some subjects she did not want to take
Okay.
because of her overachieving family who had like the most conventional doctor engineers. She was forced to take something she did not want to, and because of that there were a lot of clashes. She started doubting herself a lot, and like what happened is that she felt like nobody understood her. She felt very lonely, and even though her parents probably did not want the worst for her and actually were looking out for her, but somewhere I think the lack of understanding that that is not what she wants to do, and probably they should have asked what she wants to do, somewhere the disconnect was there, and that like manifested into her feeling extremely abandoned, lonely, and further leading having a lot of depressive episodes. So I think parental expectations, societal expectations play a very very big role in what a person feels and how valued a person feels. Of course, like knowing your parents know a lot about what is happening because they have lived and their experiences are equally important. But I think the narrative has changed because with increase in technology, increase in awareness, a lot of new fields are also coming up. Like if you ask me, psychology 20, 30 years ago also wasn't this acceptable or something which people would want to,
Yeah, they
further
would
pursue.
always want a doctor
A
or
doctor, engineer, right? So
not a psychologist.
absolutely. And with increase in exposure, with increase in awareness, people are understanding more about how it is also an important field. With this content creation, like it's actually one of the most blooming industries today. And coming back to saying if we are weak, we're definitely not weak. I mean, it's just that the narrative has changed. I
But
think
what exactly has changed in the family setup is, I mean, I'm really seeing that we had also the same kind of pressure. We never argued with our parents, though we didn't want something, we didn't like it. But nowadays, I've seen the Gen Z is struggling with, parental pressure. They say that there is a generation gap. Of course, we also dealt with generation gap. What exactly has changed, do you think?
I personally think that the generational gap is more for us than our parents and grandparents because, as I said, the exposure is a lot. Since we are learning, the avenues have increased a lot. People are learning about what is right or wrong, understanding what they think is right or wrong is a bit more early than our parents, because I feel again a big role here is of social media. We're a lot of information that was all only given by our parents or probably our teachers is now something that we're getting from social media also. So I think people are understanding what they think is right or wrong a bit early, and I think we all would agree that the time of puberty, the time of adolescence is the time of rebel. I think all of us knew that because at that time everybody is confused as to what they really want to be and what they really are. So I think somehow that comes into clash. Plus, I think family setup has changed a lot these days.
Right.
Because of career prospering so much and everything, we are shifting to joint families to nuclear family setups a lot. And I feel sometimes that parents, of course, they since they want the best life for their children, they work a lot. Like the emotional burnout becomes a part, and they sometimes are probably not that present for their children, which probably could have been given by their grandparents, which is not there in a nuclear setup.
Absolutely, Shrishti. I grew up in a joint family
Yeah.
where I had a lot of cousins, I had mausis, I had chachas, grandparents. Everybody was there. So I had a way to let out. If my mom scolded me or my father scolded, I would go and talk or share it with someone.
Mm.
Maybe largely that has changed.
Yeah, that is definitely there. So nuclear family, I think, it has both pros and cons, but I think one of the reasons that children are again seeking more validation, more support from social media is because sometimes probably they feel that they have no one to talk to. And that can be one of the reasons why, again, our generations are extremely different and different ways of coping, different ways of understanding. And again, we're getting to know more things as we are growing up, and it is very important that all of us together adjust and somewhere, try to come to a middle point.
So nowadays, digital detox has become the buzzword everywhere. Do you think digital detox is possible?
See, personally, I feel that in any aspect of your life, removing anything completely can never be the solution.
Right.
Like we're seeing that social media has a lot of negative effects, there are a lot of positive effects also. I think today, if we're disconnected, if we feel like all of us can reach out anytime, any moment, it is because of social media. If I'm feeling like I'm missing one of my best friends who's sitting probably in the US, if I can like connect to her and if I can talk to her, it is because of social media. So personally, I feel that cutting anything from the root is never the solution. The key is moderation. We need to understand that social media has a lot of perks. If it is standing where it is today, it is because it is an extremely useful platform which is not only being used for recreation, it is being used for career, it is being used for leisure, it is being used for general connectiveness. And today, as the technology is booming, it is one of the most important things. So, digital detox for me is probably moderation. It would mean that you need to know that when you need to stop is for me is what digital detox is for me. So probably even when you're using and you realize that you're doom scrolling a lot and you are going into the content a lot and that is affecting you so much that you're not able to focus on your real life, I think that is the time where you sit and you're like, okay, wait, I need to probably get back, do some work or talk to someone in real life. And probably that way a person can control how much how much social media plays a role in their life. So I personally feel that digital detox is about moderation.
So, Shishri, also I wanted to know, is there any way, if somebody is, going through depression, anxiety, or has been struggling a lot with the academic situation or the academic pressure, is there any way out of this?
Depression can look in ways like it can look or it can manifest in ways you cannot even think of. A person who's probably feeling so jolly is probably talking to hundreds of people around them, is probably showing their best life on social media, can also be depressed, because depression is something which is extremely intrapersonal. I feel it is something that I can be out the entire day for 23 hours. I'm out, I'm partying, but that 1 hour when I'm sitting with myself, I feel like I'm not worthy. I feel like, that people around me probably would not miss me or I don't have an importance in anybody's life. That is one of the ways that depression can look. Otherwise, the typical way that we know is of course a person who's extremely sad, who does not, who's not taking parts in a lot of activities they used to. That is also a manifestation which we already know. So I personally feel that seeing the number of cases around me and gaining exposure in that direction, I feel one of the things that probably can point towards a person probably shifting the direction is that they stop talking about how they actually feel. Of course, everybody wants to joke, everybody wants to have a good time, but it is important that sometimes a person should have real conversations where they tell you how they're actually feeling, what they're feeling, what they want to do, what they're expecting out of their life, their relationships, their career. And that introspection, I think, is very, very important. And sometimes lack of that can show that the person is probably not oriented enough to understand what is happening. So I think one thing that everybody around the person or your loved one or even for yourself you need to do is that you need to realize that connect should be there. You should feel like even outside the world of social media there is a life that is worth living, and there is something that you feel like हाँ मतलब मैं हूँ तो मैं कर लूँगा या मैं कर लूँगी और मुझे इससे बात करना अच्छा लगता है किसी से भी, और like around you anybody can help you, but that one person or that one source of dopamine for you that कोई है और संभाल
need to
लेगा,
speak.
that
Need to
is
talk.
very, very
You
important.
need to talk to your
And I
friend.
think that is one thing which is reduced a lot in social media because people keep doom scrolling and people try to distract themselves with the thoughts. But that is when you need to realize that, it's very important that you calm down, you sit with your thoughts, you talk to someone, and that's definitely going to help you.
Celebrities like Deepika Padukone also go through mental issues. She was talking about therapy, going for therapy and all that. Does therapy really help?
It definitely does. I mean, being a person, I'm not just speaking in a way because I'm pursuing that. I feel like a lot of my friends went through some very non-conventional or unconventional problems, not something like they were depressed or like they were anxious. It was just general problems, and talking about it with someone who can help you that way really change their life. It is not only about that they're facing some problem that they're not able to work at all. It's sometimes about like regulating yourself that way that you can be the best version of yourself, because that is the most important thing. So, of course, like celebrities like Deepika Padukone, Farhan Akhtar, and a lot of other influencers who we all know and are connecting ourselves to also go for therapy, because there are problems that sometimes you need to realize that it's okay if you cannot handle things yourself. Sometimes it's okay to seek for help. It's okay to go out there and speak like मैं शायद ठीक नहीं हूँ, मुझे शायद इसमें हेल्प चाहिए, चाहे वो मेरे मॉम डैड से हो, चाहे वो किसी और से हो, चाहे वो किसी फ्रेंड से हो, या चाहे वो किसी थेरेपिस्ट या किसी मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल से हो. The thing remains that sometimes for redirection, for helping you to figure out things, you need that one push, and therapy for me is that push.
Oh, wonderful. And also, Shrishti, I wanted to ask, what are the early signs which any parent or teacher or a student himself can understand that, oh, मेरे साथ कुछ हो रहा है, or the parent tries, I mean, should understand that, oh, something is going missing in her. What are those signs?
As I was saying, I think one of the most important and one of the most like prerequisite signs would be a person stopped talking, like it's not necessary that the person needs to be an extrovert, that वो genuinely बोलता हो, ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है, but coming out of the world and realizing what you truly want and what you would want to do and how you would want to contribute in any way that you want, speaking about that, talking to your friends, family, like if there is some interest that you have, pursuing that, and if you see someone around you कि उनने अचानक से वो करना छोड़ दिया या उनने बोलना छोड़ दिया या वो आपको reach out करना उनने छोड़ दिया, that is another thing that can be one of the signs that probably the person is going into some state where they feel like that they're helpless, they feel like कि वो शायद कुछ नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. That is definitely one of the signs. And I think support and knowing that someone is there plays a very, very big role, like bigger than what you can think. अगर किसी को पता है कि मेरे साथ कोई है, that is, I think, one of the best feelings to have. And I think that can probably solve a lot of problems that
I think more and more parents need to have this kind of awareness
Yeah.
programs. Maybe that
Definitely.
will help the Gen Z and how to deal with their children also. Also, are there any ways, if see, there is a student who's absolutely normal,
Yeah.
but there is always a fear that he might end up in depression, he or she might end up in
Yeah.
depression. So, is there any way that we don't slip into that? what can a student do about it?
I think one of the main reasons today for our generation, if we like start feeling like we are not enough, or we're not doing enough, it is probably because of comparison. We see people around us. There are some people who are like achieving so much. They're academically so good. They're like doing so many activities together. They have a thriving social life, and that makes you compare कि मैं तो ये कुछ भी नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. And that comparison, I think, is the first bug which leads to the downfall. Something that we need to do is for us to realize ourselves through social media, through our parents, through our friends, that every person is individual and every person has a different capability, has a different capacity of doing things. It is very important that the person stays grounded. So like if someone is feeling extremely anxious कि मैं शायद ये नहीं कर पाऊंगा, like there are, like in our therapy sessions we have grounding techniques, which is basically box breathing is one of the techniques. I think we all probably know, it is extremely famous now, where there is a regulated way of breathing where you, for 3 seconds you breathe in, then you hold it for like 6 seconds, then you exhale slowly, and then you hold it for 6 seconds. So if you do that, it's like it forms like a square. So if you do that for like 2-3 times, your nervous system calms down. You realize, you come to the moment. It is very important that coming to the moment, realizing that it's everything is going to be okay, and having that one person who you can talk to can change your life.
Wonderful, wonderful. That was a powerful hack of, holding your breath for 6 seconds. That was wonderful, Shrishti. I think it's going to help a lot of our parents, teachers, and viewers who are undergoing this mental issues right now. Um, so, signing off today, I'm your host, Lakshmi. And any kind of mental issue or any doubts, or you want to get in touch with Shrishti, you can please talk to us or write to us or connect with us on Insta. Log into www.pravasisamvad.com. Thank you and wish you all the best.